今天来到了这个 Lost Origin 这边来找 Frank 杯测。哇，天哪！
We started Casa Bruja, the brewery, in 2013. So there we will boil the beer. We have 11 fermenters, and these are the hops. You can smell.
Yep.
This is what gives beer all the fruity characteristics.
Yeah.
This is where we put the hops in, and then you push them into the fermenter with CO2. The fermentation takes around 21 days for ales, and then about 60 days for lagers. And we have a canning line here. So this is the lab. Then we do yeast and bacterial propagation. Buy small samples of yeast like this. This is a yeast bank. Plate each different yeast. And then here we will grow all these mixes. We will start feeding the yeast. So it will start in small beakers like this. And then we'll start growing them to this and then to this. Incubator, PCR, microscope. And steering plates that we need for yeast. Over here, this is a barrel aging room for 1-2 years, and then we bottle them in beers like this. So it's more complex, more like wine. This is where we do the cuppings also. We started building the project around August of 2022. During the harvest season, I will buy 1,500 kilos of cherry from different farms. The first step when they come in from the farm, we will float the cherries in this tank. In this room we have a HEPA filter that's cleaning the air that's going into the room, and then we float cherries in this tank. We fill them with cold water to remove some of the microbes that are coming from the farm. So we do canned flash brew coffee. So we have a big batch brewer. They go through the heat exchanger, and then we brew 500 liters of coffee, and then send them to the canning line downstairs. Over here is the main lab. Right now we'll depot all the coffee, and then we have 4 fermenters. They were all custom made in China. We use the same supplier that we use for beer. Temperature control, they all have an agitator, different valves for samples, pressure, etc. So after fermentation, they will go into the drying rooms. We have 2 drying rooms. We have air conditioning, dehumidifiers, and HEPA filters. We also have a ventilation system. Air. So that's the idea of even airflow between each of the racks. Is secondary drying. Coffee only spends about 1 day in this room, and then it spends about 15 days in this room. And then this room over here is where we keep the green coffee. So this is all storage over here. And then over here we have a drying room. So dehuller, then size sorter, and then density sorter.
Oh, so cute.
From Costa Rica. Everything we do here is small, so we only produce about 2,000 kilos of coffee. I don't think you can create those flavors through fermentation or through yeast or bacteria. Some of the coffees that you hear about and taste that have such clear taste of something, I think that's just an additive to the coffee. We have the best coffee in the world, and we can be the leaders in that industry. In beer, you already have Germany, Belgium, the US. So I feel like we can have a bigger impact in coffee than we can have in beer.
我先闻一下干香，颗粒和那个番石还有百香果，非常的茉莉花，香炸的。
Natural geisha from Castellara. So 4 to 5 days at 18 degrees Celsius. When we use pica covelia, like the Vasilus montado, which is the combo of yeast and bacteria that we use for most of our coffees.